How's it going? It's Dallas J. Moore here on socialrepublic.com. Checking in with you this week. We're hanging out with Andrew Peters. Andrew, how you doing?
Good. How you doing, Dallas?
I'm doing good.
Good.
The reason you guys need to know about Andrew, minus the fact that he's awesome, is Andrew's actually going out on his own. He's starting his own company, which is exciting because he's doing something that really isn't being done and isn't being done the way that Andrew's doing it. So we wanted to talk about Wondermint today because I'm excited about it, and I think it makes sense, and I also think that there's a large demand for it. So tell us what you're working on. Tell us about Wondermint.
Well, Wondermint really is going to be what I want to call mobile technology training. So not necessarily mobile in the sense of iPhones, iPads. I'm going to do that too, but I'm going to go to you. So instead of you having to come to a facility, or to a certain store, I can come to you. So I can see your setup, I can see kind of how you're operating, how you want to operate, and then go from there. And then I can tailor my sessions with you towards your goals, towards your, to make you more efficient.
And this is kind of set up on an individual basis.
Yeah, absolutely.
So everybody's, they might just need help setting up a printer and putting together a network. Other people are going to need help with learning software and hardware and being able to use those to their best advantage, right?
Yeah, and I want to make sure that I'm clear from the outset is that I don't necessarily want to do support. I don't want to do any IT support. There's plenty of IT firms out there. Right. What I want to do is I really want to focus on a new way of thinking. So I want to come in and I want to teach people how to think before they call their IT guys or before they take their computers into the Geek Squad or the Apple Store.
Kind of almost making them self-efficient.
Yeah, self-sufficient. Exactly.
Self-sufficient. I don't know what I was thinking, but we know what we were talking about.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's one of those things where you instead of going and saying, I don't know how to do this, I need to go right away, having that system to where I say, okay, what do I want to do? Do I have the resources I need? If I don't, how do I go find them? And then once I find them, how do I implement them to, help get me farther? If you have to go to the store eventually, that's fine. That happens.
Sure.
But I want to go in, teach people how to use their technology as opposed to having their technology use them.
Right. Well, and it's nice too because we were talking earlier that it's not only an individualized process, it's also an in-person process for someone who may be of the boomer generation or someone who's just not as affluent with technology as, say, you are, that it would be difficult for them to even maybe figure out how to set up a Skype meeting with you or a Google Plus Hangout with you.
Exactly.
And in fact, you'll be able to just come to where they live or where they work and be able to work with them there so they get to that point.
Yeah. And you raise a good point, too, about where they work. I also want to work with companies and schools and just in general to be able to say, there's people like me that are starting businesses every day, and they all have technology needs. And now, especially now in this day and age, you can't not have technology.
Absolutely.
And so I'm very well versed in being able to know what needs to be done in order to start and then continue to grow.
So for those watching the video, seeking words of wisdom, looking for that one nugget of advice. What would you say to them? What advice would you give them? Someone who's looking at starting a business, someone who's thinking about starting a business, someone who's in the process of launching a business, or kind of anything in between. What advice would you offer them? What would you say to them?
I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, but definitely, go with your gut. Go with what feels right. Get some information on it and make some educated decisions. Don't just go, oh, I want to start a company and that's what my gut says. Really take a second and think about what you want to do, and network like crazy. I think that's one of the biggest keys to success is talking to people, getting your name out there, and being active on social media, being active just in the community in general, so people know that you're out there. I think it's also really important to find those people you trust and ask them for advice all the time. I've called you a couple times for sure.
And I think people get lost in it. I think people feel discouraged that they'll be judged. And even I've felt that way, and I'm sure you have as well. But I think that is a very valid point, especially for young entrepreneurs, that it's scary to ask for help. You feel like you're going to be judged, or the questions that you have are just so beyond ridiculous. And in my experience, I've never gotten that. And so I think it's a great point that you say that, ask questions. Ask a lot of questions, because it can save you a lot of money, a lot of time, and potential pitfalls that you don't really need to have happen if you're willing to just say, I don't know this, please help me.
Yep.
Because I think a lot of people don't, and they should. Because I think when you called me, that was like, that's awesome. You know?
Yeah.
This is great.
Yeah.
I've gotten to a point where people want to know what my thoughts are.
Yeah.
And I can help them, and I want to be able to do that.
Exactly.
Because that's part of my process, giving back. It has to be.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
So you guys have to make sure you check out Wondermint. Make sure you check out Andrew. If you're not connected with him online, make sure you are. He knows a lot of great stuff. He knows a lot of great people. He's doing some cool stuff, and he may need to hire people soon.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too. So Andrew, I really appreciate you taking the time,
thanks,
hanging out with us, talking with us about Wondermint. I'm excited because it's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it hit the ground and just bolt.
Yeah, I am too. Be sure to check out thewondermint.com. That's where the website will be parked, and you can find us at the Wondermint. So.
And we'll make sure we link that below so you guys can just click and get everything you need. So.
Click, boom.
That's right. So thanks for watching. This is Dallas J. Moore with Social Republic. You guys have a great rest of the week. Thanks a lot for watching.